Hey everybody, it's me, Zach, and welcome back to my channel. Hey everybody, hi, hello! Here we are today to return to the conversation of Graveyard Girl, also known as Bunny Myers. And I recently made a video, and by recently, it's maybe been a month or two now since I posted that video. But I made a video kind of diving into how her whole channel kind of has always been a little bit about overconsumption, but about also how like it really turned into just strictly being about overconsumption over time. And I continue to keep an eye on Bunny's channel and see what she's up to and what she's doing. I would certainly encourage you to go watch that video as kind of like a preface for what we're going to talk about today, but it's also not required to watch prior to watching this because in general, we're just going to be looking at a particular video of hers as an example of the ways that overconsumption is still a huge part of her channel. And before we get into that, I also just want to make a quick disclaimer to preface this conversation. My comments about Bunny's overconsumption are strictly about that particular behavior, not her as a person, and as her job as an influencer here on the internet to get people to buy stuff. Her job is to seemingly be stuck in this cycle of buying stuff, showing it on her channel, making money off of the videos she shows of it, and rinsing, lathering, and repeating all of that. I have kind of talked a lot about overconsumption in recent history, and I do know that the inevitable conversation, especially when it comes to Bunny, because Bunny does collect a lot of trinkets and has a lot of things like that in her home and in her videos. But inevitably, every time I talk about overconsumption, somebody brings up the shelf behind me. I do have a video where I talk about my Furby collection. If you want to go check that out, it's here on my channel. But please note that there is an extreme difference between being against overconsumption and being a minimalist. And I actually think there's a little bit of critique for both of those things, but this is simply decoration, and many of these items that are on this shelf I've had for many years, some of them dating back to my childhood, some dating back to college. So like this is just a collection of stuff I've had for a very long time that has moved around with me throughout the many places I've lived and has been very curated. When I specifically, I don't know about other people who talk about overconsumption, but when I specifically talk about this topic, I'm not saying that people aren't allowed to decorate their homes, that they're not allowed to buy stuff in general. I'm just suggesting that, you know, there are ways that influencers go about building a whole entire career out of buying stuff and encouraging you to buy stuff too, that leads to more overconsumption in our country and our world. I'm not suggesting you or even Bunny are not allowed to have some level of whimsy in your life. Please decorate your homes. Please have nice things. It's just a matter of moderation, and or if you're like making whole entire YouTube channels based around overconsumption. So anyways, all of that to say, Graveyard Girl Bunny has a second channel called Banana Peppers, and that channel is really truly almost exclusively dedicated to just hauling stuff that she's bought at different points in her life. And she just recently posted a video over there a few days ago called something along the lines of like, I spent $13 on a junk drawer, and talked about how it had like 150 different little trinket items in it. And what I will say is in this video, she immediately references a video she posted on her main channel about how she was getting ready to go on her dopamine break. And by that, what she really meant was that she was taking a break from social media, taking a break from her phone, electronics that she, you know, spends a lot of time in front of and looking at. I do think that's interesting because I wonder what it would look like for her to take a dopamine break from buying stuff. I think she very much does get some kind of level of dopamine hit when she buys these things and opens them up on her channel. But anyways, as the title of this video suggests, that she is hauling junk. Okay, she literally talks about this trend of people buying junk drawers back in the day, And that was the intended purpose of this, is like buying something full of junk. The stuff in this particular haul came from a place called Bai. To my knowledge, it seems like some kind of third-party company that buys things from Japan and ships them other places in the world, such as the United States of America. And I guess my immediate thought when she's talking about how this is something that has 150 different little trinkets in it, my immediate thought is like, what could she possibly need 150 different trinkets for? Like, even if she liked every single one of them, even if she liked everything that was in there, like, there's no world in which you're going to be able to reasonably use 150 different little trinkets that you bought all at once, and you don't even know what they are because it is like along the lines of like a mystery box. So my goal for this video is to investigate the various ways that she justifies this purchase to herself and to her audience. And before we can get to the contents in the package, we gotta talk about the packaging itself, because she's so amused by this little Woody the Woodpecker tote bag that they came in.
Oh, but look at how they literally shipped this. They literally shipped this to Bai in this reusable, like, Woody Woodpecker tote bag. And I guess this was from Universal Studios Japan, the hotel, which I didn't even know Woody Woodpecker was like a Universal character. Is that funny? I'm definitely just gonna cut a little square out of this for my junk journal and then not keep this, because look, they like literally somehow folded this up and shipped it. I love that. Reusing, reduce, reuse, recycle.
I think it's interesting that she talks about how she loves the concept of reduce, reuse, recycle, because obviously this is a bag that's being reused to package these items and ship them. But like, she seemingly is missing the part about reduce, right? Like, I certainly would say that this is reusing. You're reusing this bag. These are maybe trinkets that would have just been thrown in the trash, so in that sense you're also reusing those. But this isn't really recycling, and it's definitely not reducing, right? Like, you're not reducing the amount of stuff you're buying, the amount of stuff you're consuming, because you are buying a bunch of stuff. She almost immediately also talks about the smell that's coming from the bag, as in it's a very bad smell that is not great.
Oh, that smell. Oh my god, it smells deeply like the yuckiest part of the thrift store. I'm not even gonna lie. Some smells are universal, you know? I feel like I'm gonna deeply need to wash my hands after this. Could I say deeply a few more times? Let's just take another sip of water before we get started. Oh my god, why is this so stinky? It kind of smells like shoes. Okay.
And I just want to say, I think that's indicative of a bunch of other stuff that she's ultimately going to find in the bag that's damaged in some way, appears to be dirty, needs to be fixed in some kind of way.
This looks so old and it's kind of rusted, so honestly, it needs a little DIY. It's the Mickey! Oh my god. Okay, see, some of this is like a little, it needs a bath. But I'm so glad the Mickey is there. He moves his arms and legs. He's so cute. Oh my god, these look so old though. Oh no, this one's like completely broken. But this one just looks a little like worn and torn. Okay, we have this, which definitely looks like it's broken. But it's like a miniature game system of some sort. And it says, never give up on the good times. Maybe it's scratched off. Maybe it's at times. I don't know if maybe I can unscrew this somehow and make it work again. Now it almost looks like this could unscrew where maybe I could put a battery in, because I feel like it probably made noise or something at some point, and now it does not.
And I guess that makes sense because she emphasized in the title that this is junk. Like, she's literally buying junk. At one point she also talks about how she has a bin set aside so that she can put the things that she wants to donate in that bin.
I was gonna put like the donate stuff in here, or should I start Depoping again, you guys?
Now, I've talked a lot about donations on my channel in recent history and in the past in general. My thoughts and feelings are that I used to run a pantry on a campus that I worked at where people donated food items and stuff like that. And it's not helpful necessarily to just donate things if those places don't need those things, if people might not want those things. So I don't think like setting up a donation box to put stuff into necessarily helps justify this situation. I don't think it necessarily makes you heroic. I think you really need to be considering that if you just bought something that's literally called junk off of the internet and you don't want it, need it, or desire these items, then what makes you think other people want, need, or desire those items? And even if somebody does want these little trinkets, and I encourage people to partake in fun and whimsy, donating random trinkets to any kind of organization is obviously very different than like doing the good deed of donating usable clothes, food, shelter, things like that that people like actually need in order to survive. And all of that to say is she's also very quick to be like, oh, also maybe I should just start selling things on Depop again, which if you don't know, Depop is an app where you can like resell things that you have in your house and things like that. I think a lot of times it's used for specifically clothing, but it can be used for like accessories, trinkets, etc. as well. So who knows if she's even actually going to donate these, or if she's going to sell these things, or if they're just going to continue taking up space in her home. I've heard her talk about these like trinkets that come for free on like soda bottles and things like that in Japan in the past. But it is really interesting to me that she's excited about these little trinkets that come on these bottles for free that she had to actually pay money for.
Once again, this is the stuff I wish we did here in the States. This and the Lupon charm. They have these like holes in them because these came for free on bottles of Pepsi in Japan. We have nothing so cool here.
But overall, one of the really common things that Bunny does a lot in her videos when she's buying stuff that I don't know if I touched on enough in the last video, but is really highlighted here, is that she justifies a lot of her purchases by saying like, oh, I'll give that to so-and-so. Like, I'll give that to my mom, my dad, Dogman's her boyfriend, Dogman's cousin.
Oh my god, Dogman loves this show. Lupin? I don't know if it's always called Lupin the Third, but I think this is, oh my god, is it Lupin? No, I've only moderately ever been able to pay attention to that show, but he'll know who this is. That's another win. I'm gonna give this to Dogman's cousin. She absolutely loves Stitch. This I'm definitely gonna give to my dad, but look at how cool this is. My dad loves all things aliens, including the Toy Story aliens. But what I do see is this that I'm gonna attach to the same alien keychain for my dad. Look, it's freaking Buzz Lightyear. My mom is gonna love this. My mom absolutely loves teddy bears. Oh my god, this is so cute. I feel like my mom will really like this. At first I thought it was supposed to be a piece of ginger and I was like so excited because my mom loves ginger. But now doesn't this look like a tail and a shark? But oh, I'm so excited. I don't know what this is, but I'm immediately giving this to my mom. She loves to feed squirrels at the park. Okay, this I'm definitely gonna give to my mom. She loves like snow people, snowmen. I don't know what this is from, but she will like him once December comes. And, ooh, I see a bowling pin. Oh my god, my mom's gonna love this. My mom actually loves bowling and she loves Winnie the Pooh. But we might just take the Pooh off because she doesn't really like green.
And it does make me wonder if those folks really want these things, if she actually gives those things to those people. like if it's really something that those people would enjoy, especially with her mom, which like, I've also talked about this at different points. Moms have this thing where they do latch on to like a thing they really like. Like I've just witnessed this in my life with various moms I know where it's like, oh, I really like dolphins, and then everybody just gets them dolphin stuff all the time. And vice versa, sometimes moms do that with their kids. It's like, as a kid, you tell your mom you like the color blue, and then the rest of your life, she just buys you blue things that you don't necessarily need. I do get a little bit of a sense that that is like what's going on, maybe specifically with Bunny's mom in this situation, but it's like, again, even if you want this trinket, even if you like this trinket, a lot of these are like little keychain types of things. You can only put so many keychains on a key ring. You can only put so many phone trinkets on a phone. What is her mom possibly doing with all of this stuff? And honestly, I could probably make a very long montage of just clips from this video of Bunny not even knowing what the thing is that she's pulling out of this bag.
And this is the first thing that I actually don't know if I'm gonna know what it is at all. It's got this like, it's almost like a door panel or something. Moving along very quickly, what's this? I don't know. It's like a rubber keychain. We have this thing. It says Sue's Handmade. What is this? I don't know. Do any of y'all know? Okay, this is a Pokemon, but which one? I don't know. It's a very, you know what? I'm gonna take a stab and I'm gonna say it's Eevee. We have this, is this a Pokemon? This looks like some kind of video game thing that I don't know about. I don't know who this is, but this is kind of cute. It's just a person with blue braids in their hair. That looks really cool. I have no idea what it's from though. What's that? Who knows? He's like an anime dude. Like, what is this? I don't know, you guys. This thing, I don't know what character that is. Does anybody know what this is from? Because I don't. Okay, we have more of that lady. Oh, maybe her name is Naomi? I don't know.
And I kind of hinted at this when we talked about blind bags on my channel, or blind boxes, depending on what you want to call them. I made a video about that, like, also a month or two ago, probably at this point. But that's what happens when you get these like mystery things. At least with the blind box, you tend to have an idea of what you could get. But this is like a mystery junk drawer. She literally probably doesn't know what a good chunk of these things are, and yet she paid money for it, and now she's going to have it, and now she's gonna have to figure out something to do with it. Which, I don't know, maybe that's part of the fun, but that's like a very temporary like buzz to get from spending money on stuff. And speaking of like not being sure what she's gonna do with all of these things, she does try to justify a lot of the purchases by saying that she's going to put them on her phone as like a phone charm or things like that.
I used to collect these like way back in the day, and I've actually been wanting a phone charm one. I bought one of these myself from Disney World a million years ago, and I recently thought about buying another one of these to turn into a phone charm. This, which I'm gonna like put this on my phone. God, we have another Mickey, you guys. I'm definitely gonna turn one into a phone strap for the next time we go to Disney.
And again, this might sound a little bit redundant, but how many phone charms could you possibly need, Diva? That phone's gonna be so heavy. Do you not like to put your phone in your wallet? And not your wallet, your pocket? Do you, even if you like put your phone in your purse, like that's gonna take up so much space? I don't know, maybe I'm trying to be too practical about it all, but like you're not probably going to have 150 different little phone trinkets on your phone at any given time. Another unique thing that she uses to justify a lot of these purchases is by saying that she really likes to duck Jeeps, which like, if you aren't in the Jeep community, it's a thing that people with Jeeps do. They get little rubber ducks and they put them on other people's Jeeps and things like that, and I don't personally understand it, but that Jeep community takes that shit real seriously. So she justifies some of these purchases by saying that she thought she could use them or get them or use them to duck other Jeeps.
We like give each other little treats and trinkets all the time because she has a Jeep and we have a Jeep, so we like duck each other's Jeep. That's the other thing, is I thought like some of these little doodads, I could take them off, and you guys know how much I love ducking Jeeps, and I make like Jeep candy, which is like the rear view mirror things. I just like string a duck, but I like to have like other little like beads and charms and stuff, so I thought like this could even be cute to like put on those and give away.
I guess the thing that's interesting about that to me is that like I don't think I saw her haul a single duck in this. Actually, maybe there was, I think there was like Huey Louie or whatever the third one is of the DuckTales ducks from Disney. That was maybe the only duck I really remember her hauling in this. I don't remember any of the other things being ducks in any shape, form, or matter. But so many of the things that she pulls out of this bag are literally just her doing show and tell. Like, so many of them are just her holding it up and being like, this is what it is, and setting it down. So it's also just like, you really don't seemingly have an interest in this stuff that you're pulling out of here. I don't know. And to be honest, the ending of the video was so weird because there was no conclusive end. We did not make it through all 150 items, and the phone battery just turned off, and so she didn't keep going. She didn't add anything. It just ended. Overall, you know, like, I do want to remain somewhat, like, positive about this. Like, I do think it makes a difference that in this video specifically, not all of her videos, okay? Like, sometimes she is buying brand new things, but, like, for all intents and purposes, these are things that seem to be discarded trinkets that maybe nobody wanted, and she is now giving them a new home, a new life, and they could have possibly just ended up in the landfill somewhere. But I think more largely it speaks to this idea that, like, buying trinkets and things like that will hit this level of dopamine that at the beginning of her video she talked about trying to take a break from in other forms. Like, she tried to stop getting these dopamine rushes and hits from things like social media and looking at her phone screen and stuff like that. And the reason it matters is because Bunny is influential. You know, a lot of people on my last video about her did talk about how they hadn't thought about her in a long time, how it was interesting to see that she hadn't really changed much since they last watched her, how they actually stopped watching her because of things like this. But there are a lot of people that also talked about how they still love Bunny and they love watching her, and you know, it is actually kind of popular right now in social media to be on the hunt for, like, fun trinkets like Labubu's, Sunny Angels, and different, like, blind bags and things like that that we've covered. And this type of video where it's all about, like, trying to find the really cool specialty things that might be in this random bag of junk leads to that kind of behavior on the internet overall. And again, not to say that we can't have a little fun and a little whimsy. I think we just have to think about what that looks like and in what ways we're participating in that. I hope that all makes sense to you. I don't know, I was just really intrigued by, like, the initial reading of the title and it having the word junk in the title, because it really feels like that's just not, you know, that's just like, why would you buy junk on purpose? So I thought that was interesting. And it's also really interesting because, as I pointed out in my other video, her first video of the new year of 2025 was a video where she was questioning if she should do a no-buy year, like where she didn't buy anything in 2025. And that's also just simply, clearly not the case. I don't know. You let me know your thoughts down below. I had a lot of fun watching this video and, like, really thinking critically about the things she was saying about it, so I hope you enjoyed my commentary on it as well. If you're brand new here, consider subscribing down below. Hit the bell button so you get a notification every single time I post a new video. Make sure to leave me a comment, hit like, click share, and follow me on all my social media. I had so much fun today. I hope you did too, and I'll see you all next time. Bye!